Well, good evening, gardening friends. Thank you for stopping by today. This is going to be a August 1st garden tour. It is the 31st of July, but I don't know if this video will be uploaded today or tomorrow. So, August 1st garden tour is what we're going to call this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're out here by the noisy road today, but I wanted to show you guys this view as you're walking up to the property here. I don't know, something about the dogwood and looking through there. The different layers is what I really like. But anyway, here we are, already August. It's crazy how this year has, or this season has flown by. But, as I said before, August and September, the front landscape here really shines. I think it looks its best. So, lots of color. So we'll just start here like we always do, and I'll kind of go over what I have growing here. If this is your first time tuning in to my channel, welcome. This is Travis, and I grow in Zone 6B in Louisville, Kentucky. So I know I repeat myself a lot in these videos, but just in case anybody is new, checking out the channel for the first time, I kind of repeat a lot. So, the blue here, we kind of have a theme going with the blue and the purple and the orange. I really like those colors together. But the blue here is the blue Victoria Salvia. It's an annual. But in some zones, it's perennial. Like I had a lot come back this year, but most of these are new plantings. It does reseed, so you can see here the drier parts, how it's kind of going to seed. So some will come back if you let that seed drop. Some will come back and reseed for you. Another annual I have in here is the Marigolds. This is the Sophia variety. And you'll notice how it's more of a red-orange versus just the regular orange. I like that red-orange against the purple better. A new blooming flower this week is the Aster. Purple Aster. I divided a couple big clumps that I had in the back and put them throughout. Sorry for the noisy car there. I guess they think everybody wants to hear their bass. But anyway, as I was saying, this is the Purple Aster. It's a perennial. And this was divided from two plants that I had. So I've got it repeated here throughout the border. So late summer, early fall, perennial, blooming perennial. So when you're creating your landscape, you want to make sure that you have color and interest all season long. So, the Marigolds, the blue Victoria Salvia, the Aster, and I believe these Dahlias here, which is the Bishop of Oxford Dahlia. But they will give me all season long color through till the first frost. Like I said, some of these come in different different shades of the orange. Of course, I was hoping they was all going to be like this, but sorry, I'm kind of stuttering. There's somebody pulling in and backing out, but anyway. Dahlias, Bishop of Oxford. They kind of took my attention away there. Marigolds, Salvia, and just repeated all through this border here. Another clump of the Aster, purple Aster here. Again, the silver foliage color is the lamb's ear. I like that pop of silver, but you'll notice how the dew is. This plant does not like a lot of water, and you'll see how some of the leaves here are kind of turning, and that's just where the water sits on there, I believe. It really likes it dry, but when the water sits on there and the dew and stuff, and then when it gets to about 100 like it does, like it has been here, it kind of get that moldy foliage there. Let's see. The next layer in here are the dwarf butterfly bushes. This is the Puckster Blue, and I need to come in here and clean up, but like I said, it's been so hot this week. You should see the weeds. I'm sure you guys can, but you'll be surprised how bad the weeds will get away from you for a week when it's too hot to get out here. But a white dwarf butterfly bush, and then the Puckster Blue again. And there's Miss Raven there. I'm not bugging her at all. She is having a good old nap. It has cooled down, thank God, about 20 degrees or so. And it is nice weather to be outside. Perfect weather for this garden tour. I always like to try to get it on a gloomy day, that way the sun doesn't wash out all the color. Show you how gorgeous this dahlia is. Bishop of Oxford. So as I was saying, the next layer here, we also have the sedum. So that'll be giving me that pink rusty color. Almost like the color that you see from the spirea, which is blooming its second go round. Also in this layer, we have a drift of the Russian sage, which is probably one of my all-time favorite perennials. Can't go wrong with it, just like the sedum. You guys can see how the creeping Charlie here is getting away from me. Grows right in the mulch. Okay. So our next layer here is the spireas. And then in between the spireas we have clumps of Catmint Nepota. And as you can see, I've cut it back. Well, not all of them, but some of them I cut back. But you can see it's reblooming. The camera will focus there. Not quite as vigorous blooms as it was this spring, but that's where you have your spring color, and then as the season progresses, other things come into their peak. So always something going on. Like I said, August and September are, I think, the best months for this landscape here. On each side we have a couple of knockout roses, 2 of the pink on this side. So don't make you guys sick. We have a pink one and a yellow knockout rose, which is The most fragrant rose that I've ever smelled. I think it's even about to come back out with another flush of blooms. But starts out yellow and then goes into a white. But boy, is this guy fragrant. Also, barberries. This has been a good year for barberries. It usually is, but I just love that foliage color. I love the burgundy. Pops of burgundy foliage throughout the gardens. It's like what I consider a low light. And then I consider the spireas a highlight. Just look how nice. This is one tuber here. Look how big. And then playing off of the burgundy of the barberry, we have the burgundy purple foliage of the Bishop of Oxford dahlias. Raven is loving her life right now next to the catmint, which also, by the way, if you have cats, definitely grow this. They love it. And then of course up against the house here, which had to be cut back, otherwise they would be above the gutters, but is the Limelight Hydrangeas. Containers there on the porch have Supertunia Bordeaux, and then this is just a yellow one. Vigro, I think, is the brand or whatever, but they could use a little trim up and probably some fertilizer. They are starting to look a little rough. Again, it's been hot and dry this week. I probably should have been out here watering them a little bit better, but they'll be fine. Limelight's in their prime right now, as well as this gorgeous crepe myrtle. Again, I don't know the variety of this one, but it has really shown off this year. I would love to have more over on our new little area between the property there. I just thought I would show her off because she is absolutely gorgeous this year. Alright. Kind of walk you back through the garden, and we will show you the progress over here. Scarlet runner bean on the arbor here. I thought the flowers would be a little bit more, I don't know, showy. But anyway, keeping that pop of orange and pop of blue throughout. Wagelia. Hydrangeas in here. So when I say under construction area, this is for you guys that's not been following me for a while. There used to be a wall of hedge here, and trees and vines, and like I said, you name it, it was all through here. So all this has been kind of cleaned out in between our property line there. It could still use some help. Hopefully we can get somebody in here that can clean all this, all the stumps and stuff out. This is what it looks like so far, which is a lot better than it was. But as you can see, we've popped in a couple of Miscanthus ornamental grass And these two clumps were in the back. You might remember if you've been following me for a while. They were in the back under the maples and just wasn't doing very good, not getting enough sun. But they are doing fantastic up here now. And then a couple weeks ago I found this butterfly bush. You can see the vines taking over. But anyway, this one was on clearance for $12. So anyway, it'll take me a little bit, but I will have this cleaned out and plant it up to continue this big, long garden landscape here. My grandpa gave me a tool that will reach these vines and some of these limbs that I can kind of clean up a little bit, so I'll be using that to get those down. It never ends. Always something to do in the landscape and the garden, but when it's what you love to do, it's not a chore. Russian sage, still looking good. You can see how much taller the Mexican sunflower is in the middle. And yes, it is orange. So Papa orange, ring of blue there, and then my orange again. Orange again with the marigold, and then in between the marigolds we have the blue Victoria Salvia. So as I said before, repetition and a little bit more formal in this front landscape in front of the house, but a lot of my other gardens are wild and cottagey, which is really my favorite style of gardening. Alright, now let's go check out the back. Alright guys, so don't look at my weeds. I've got to get in here and get busy. I don't know what this weed here is, but it just keeps coming and coming and coming. But on the bright side, it's easy to pull out. This gorgeous lantana here has come back in bloom. And here is a Juga ground cover, which I've talked about a lot. Again, pulling out that burgundy foliage. And it is a fast spreader. And for the most part, it does pretty good about choking out weeds. So the goal is to have this all filled in here. Hydrangea. Not sure what variety this is. This winter I'm gonna do some research and create somehow some plant tags or stakes to put around the plants. That way when I have my garden tours next year, I can tell you guys what these are. Dahlias getting ready to bloom there. We already have one here. Absolutely gorgeous. A stray gladius there. Also in here we have that nice gold of the black-eyed Susan. And this is black-eyed Susan season. It's their time to shine. I need to get out here and cut these hydrangea heads so I can dry them. David Austin is reblooming. need to get in here, and I want to clean Creeping Buttercup out of here. That's what this is. If you guys get this plant, be careful where you put it. Make sure you put it in an area that you want it to take over, because it will completely choke everything out and take over. Just like the primrose will, which is what this is. This was that light pink flower in the spring. So those two, I can't stress enough to put it in an area where you don't mind it taking over. Here's some more dahlias. I need to do a little less talking and more showing you guys. I'm going to run out of time again. My zinnia patch here. I mean, can't really go wrong with the zinnia. Zinnias are so easy to grow. The seeds are cheap. And they just keep reblooming and reblooming. I love this color. I don't know if it's coming out good on camera, but it's like a vivid fuchsia color. Of course, I love that orange too. We did harvest a watermelon this week. However, I'm not sure if I harvested it too late or picked it too late, or you know, if I needed to wait a little longer. But it was a pretty good size one, probably double the size of this. But the inside was still pink and not quite, it hadn't quite turned red all the way through. So I'm gonna have to do my research on that, figure out what happened. But as far as I know, it was still edible because I did eat something and it was pretty good. So these are the sugar baby watermelons. I have pulled out my squash. We just couldn't keep up with it. It was producing so much. But the leaves is starting to turn, and I think it's it had quit producing squash. So I pulled that out, and I'll be cleaning this area up because I want to plant some I want to sow some fall crops. As you can see in here, tomatoes still. I need to get out here and get these tomatoes before they turn red. I want to try some fried green tomatoes. We've had tomatoes like crazy. I want to say this is amaranth. Yeah, this is some amaranth seeds that I threw in here. Not quite as, you know, not that great. Let's just say. I thought they would be a little bit better looking than that. So tomatoes are still producing. What else do we have? We have pumpkins in here. I don't know what's going on with the pumpkins. I mean, this one, oh. I think there's somebody in here. Anyway, I'll just stand back. I don't know what's going on with my pumpkins. I've had a few on the vine. They would get about the size of a softball and then turn yellow and then just rot. So I have a hard time with pumpkins, but I always set them out every year, like I've said. I don't know, but we do have like that one I just showed you, and there is one in there. They have kind of taken over our driveway, but this is the sunniest spot I have to put them. But here is just an absolutely gorgeous looking pumpkin, and I think this might be one of the blue ones. I'm hoping. Y'all say a little prayer. You know how I am about my pumpkins. Alright, so this little area here, looking a little rough. I'm still keeping the hollyhocks up long enough to dry up and go to seed. I could probably go ahead and cut them back and just let the seed dry in the shed. Those were the champagne hollyhocks. Got some more dahlias in there. This balsam has done absolutely amazing this year. Love the multicolored. These were from Baker's Creek. Love that color. Bachelor buttons. Still blooming. Tixie, this is a type of Coreopsis. Very airy like. One of my favorites. You guys will just have to forgive all my weeds and craziness. Gotta get out here and get some work done. Also, if you guys probably heard from my last video, we got 2 little beagle puppies, so they have taken up some of my time too. Alright, don't know which way to go. Let's go this way. I gotta keep walking because I'm gonna run out of time. I think this is strawberry sundae or something like that, but I'm gonna dry these. Those look absolutely gorgeous for fall arrangements, so I'll cut them back and probably bring them inside. There's that perilla, just for color. It's an herb. Not really sure what it's used for, but I just like it in there for that foliage color. Blanket flower. This is our cherry brandy Rutabekia. Started from seed under the grow lights this spring. Nice fall color going on now. Again, things are looking a little spent and past their prime, like this big area of daylilies we had here are gone, and I'll be working on this bed this fall and next spring because as you can see, I have no interest right here, right now, this time of year. So the loosestrife will probably be coming out of there. And I'm still looking for some kind of structure plant to put here. I don't know if it's going to be a small ornamental tree or some kind of bush, but I need something on that corner. Alyssum, snow in the summer. Some phlox. Black-eyed Susan. So not much has changed. Back here, things are looking a little spent. This Coleus looks gorgeous. I'll definitely be upping my Coleus game next, or this winter and spring. These were grown under the grow lights. I love this one against the hostas there. And this is not in the ground. That one is in the ground, and I've put several in here in the ground, but I think next year what I'm going to do is put them in these shallow pots. Can you guys see this? There we go. I'm going to put them in some shallow pots, and anyway, I think they do better in containers. Alright guys, I think I'm coming up on the end of my time here. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more of my garden journey, hit that subscribe button. I'd appreciate that as well. Let's see if I have any more time. Enough time to get over to the puppies. Alright, bye y'all. I'll see you in the next video.